The bank was louder than usual that afternoon, the kind of noise that makes people impatient. Printers whirring, token numbers beeping, customers arguing softly about forms and signatures. In the middle of the queue stood Imran, shoulders slightly bent from long work shifts, holding his 2-year-old daughter against his chest. She slept peacefully, her small hand gripping the collar of his faded shirt. In his other hand was an old ATM card, its edges worn smooth from years of careful use. He checked the token slip again and again, not because the number changed, but because waiting always made him nervous. People around him were dressed sharply, watches flashing, phones pressed to ears, voices confident. Imran stayed silent. He had come straight from his night shift at the warehouse and hadn't slept yet. This bank visit mattered. He had delayed it for months, telling himself he would check next week when he had more courage. Behind him, a woman in an expensive blazer and sunglasses, even indoors, spoke loudly, on a call about shares, transfers, and a property closing. Her assistant stood beside her holding folders. When Imran adjusted his grip on the child, his elbow lightly touched her handbag. She frowned and stepped back. "Please be careful," she said sharply, then muttered to her assistant, "Some people bring their entire life into a bank line." Imran quietly apologized without turning around. His token number flashed. He walked to the counter, slowly and gently shifted his daughter so she wouldn't wake. The teller gave a routine smile. "Yes, sir?" Imran slid the card forward with both hands. "I just want to see my balance," he said, almost in a whisper, as if asking for something fragile. "ATM or full statement?" the teller asked. "Full, please, printed." The teller nodded and typed. Imran watched the keyboard like it was a medical monitor deciding his fate. Behind him, the well-dressed woman chuckled softly and said to her assistant, not very quietly, "This is the most suspenseful part, expectation versus reality." A couple of people nearby smiled. Imran heard it. His ears warmed, but he kept his eyes on the desk. He wasn't here for pride. He was here for certainty. The printer started. One page came out, then another. The teller's fingers stopped moving. Her eyes narrowed at the screen. She leaned closer, rechecked the account number, then opened another tab and verified again. The printer kept running. Imran grew worried. "Is something wrong?" he asked gently. The teller looked up at him, not with pity but with surprise. "Sir," she said slowly, "can you please confirm your name?" The teller turned the monitor slightly away from the public view and lowered her voice. "Sir, can you please confirm your full name and ID number?" Her tone had changed, no longer routine, now careful. Imran shifted his daughter higher on his shoulder and recited the details from memory. He had repeated those numbers in his head for years, like a prayer. The teller typed again, checked once more, then looked back at the screen with the same puzzled expression. Behind him, the well-dressed woman leaned sideways, curiosity replacing her earlier amusement. Long printouts still slid from the machine in a steady stream. "I'm sorry," Imran said, anxiety rising. "If there's a problem, you can tell me. I may have filled something wrong." "There is no problem," the teller replied.
"That's why I'm surprised."
She circled a figure with her pen, then turned the paper toward him. Imran didn't react at first. Numbers had never meant much to him, beyond monthly expenses and school fees. He scanned the page slowly, line by line. Fixed deposits, government bonds, child education fund, long-term index investments, each matured or growing. The total sat at the bottom in bold digits. He blinked, counted the commas, counted again. "Is it enough?" he asked quietly. The teller let out a small breath of disbelief. "Sir, this is more than enough. This is exceptional." The woman behind him stepped closer despite herself. Her laughter from earlier was gone. "Excuse me," she said, trying to sound casual. "How long is that statement?" 10 years of structured investments," the teller answered automatically, still looking at Imran, "and not a single early withdrawal." Imran's shoulders loosened, tension draining from his face. For the first time since he entered the bank, he smiled, not proudly but with relief. "Good," he whispered. "Then her future is safe." "Your daughter?" the teller asked gently. He nodded. "After my wife passed, I set rules. Whatever I don't eat, I save. Whatever I want, I delay. Whatever she might need, I fund first. The businesswoman stared at the pages now, her eyes moving across fund names she recognized. Solid, smart, patient choices. No gambling, no hype trading. Just discipline. That's not luck, she said quietly. Imran shook his head. No, madam. It's fear. Fear is a good saver. His daughter stirred and opened her eyes briefly. He rocked her gently. The teller organized the papers and placed them neatly in an envelope, as if handling something valuable. Because it was, Imran accepted it with both hands. Thank you, he said, and meant it more deeply than she expected. Mira, the woman in the blazer, followed him away from the counter before he could reach the exit. Her heels clicked quickly against the marble floor. Excuse me, she called out. One moment. Imran turned, surprised. He instinctively adjusted his hold on his daughter, protective but polite. Yes, madam. What exactly do you do? She asked, studying his face now instead of his clothes. I work night security at Rahman Logistics Warehouse, he said simply. 12-hour shifts. She waited for the rest, expecting side business, family property, inheritance. Nothing came. Security guard? She repeated. He nodded. Mira almost smiled, thinking it must be a joke, but his expression didn't change. No performance, no irony, just fact. That portfolio, she said carefully, is built better than what many executives manage with advisors. Imran shrugged lightly. I don't understand markets. I understand habits. They moved aside as other customers passed. Near the glass doors, rain traced lines down the windows, turning the street outside into a blur. My wife handled money, he continued. Not much, but properly. After she died, I found her notebook. Budgets, plans, small investment notes. I followed those first. He tapped the envelope gently. Then I attended free financial literacy seminars at a community center. Government bonds, index funds, automatic deposits. I set everything to deduct the day salary comes. If money never sits in your hand, you don't feel tempted. Mira listened without interrupting. She had sat through elite wealth conferences that said less with more words. No car upgrade, Imran went on. No new phone unless the old one dies. Extra shifts go straight to long-term funds. Bonuses go to her education account. He looked down at his daughter. She was awake now, quietly watching the lights. You never wanted to enjoy it? Mira asked. I do, he said softly. Every time I see the statements grow. The answer landed heavier than he intended. My investors panic on small market drops, Mira said. They pull out, chase trends, lose more. I never check daily, Imran replied. Only once a year. VIA works best when scheduled. She laughed, but this time with respect. Do you know your total places you in the top fraction of disciplined investors? She asked. No, he said honestly. I only know school fees will never stop halfway. Outside, thunder rolled. Inside, Mira made a decision she didn't fully analyze. Unusual for her. Mr. Imran, she said, extending her card. I run facilities across the city. Warehouses, offices, plants. I need someone who understands responsibility the way you do. He looked at the card but didn't take it yet. I'm not educated much, he warned. I'm not hiring a degree, she replied. I'm hiring a mindset. Imran finally took the card, holding it carefully between his fingers, as if it might carry weight beyond paper. The name was embossed, the company logo familiar, even to someone outside business circles. He looked up at Mira, uncertain. Madam, I appreciate it, he said, but I already have a job. And I'm offering you a better one, she replied calmly. Head of security operations across my sites. Day shifts, structured hours, triple your current salary. Health coverage for you and your daughter. He didn't answer right away. Big promises had always made him cautious. Why, he asked simply. Mira didn't dodge it. Because I misjudged you, she said. I laughed when you said you wanted to check your balance. I assumed your story before I saw your discipline. I don't like that about myself. Imran studied her face, not for status now, but sincerity. He found it. I don't know corporate systems, he said. You can learn systems, she replied. You can't teach integrity this easily. His daughter reached for the shiny logo on the card and pressed it with her thumb. Mira smiled at her. What's her name? Ayla. Well, Ayla, Mira said gently, I'd like your father to work with me. Imran exhaled slowly. If I accept, I want one condition. Mira raised an eyebrow. Executives usually negotiated numbers, not conditions. Add a savings and investment program for your lowest paid workers, he said. Automatic accounts, small deductions, education sessions. Most people don't fail because they're careless. They fail because no one shows them how. Mira didn't answer immediately, not because she resisted, but because she was recalculating. Impact, retention, stability, loyalty, generational change. Done, she said. We'll start next quarter. No, Imran replied gently. Start this month. Small is fine. Just start. She nodded once. This month. Weeks later, the program launched quietly. Optional micro-savings, matched contributions, free workshops on budgeting and long-term investing. Participation spread faster than any bonus scheme she had introduced before. Imran transitioned into his new role slowly, methodically documenting procedures, training teams, arriving early, leaving on time, a model of the same discipline that built his portfolio. At the first quarterly review, Mira opened the employee savings dashboard. Hundreds of new accounts, growing balances, reduced emergency loan requests. She smiled to herself. Her assistant asked, "Best return this quarter?" Mira looked through the glass, wall toward the security office where Imran was helping a new recruit fill out a savings form. Not on paper, she said, on people. And for the first time in years, when she checked a balance sheet, she felt richer.